What time is it? You know, it's time to grow. Okay, just a quick one today. Right, so the question today is, how long should a CV or resume be? How long should a CV be? How long should a curriculum vitae be? Now, if you've ever, been out there trying to get a job and, you've spoken to an employment advisor, maybe an organization that helps people find employment, or even a job center, or if you're outside of the UK, any sort of employment agency that helps you find work. What I've heard most of the time is blanket. How long should a CV be? The blanket answer would be no longer than 2 pages. No longer than 2 pages. If an employer sees your CV more than 2 pages, they're not even going to look at it. So there's some truth to what that is, but what I find is people like to give a default answer rather than looking at specifically the job you're applying for and your amount of experience, etc., etc. So yes, 2 pages is the ideal length for a CV, right? If you are, say, a school leaver, a college leaver, and you haven't got any work experience, or you just got experience in one place of work, then 1-page CV is fine. Don't try and drag out your CV, yeah? Don't try and drag out your CV for it to be 2 pages, just because two pages are the default. So definitely, I'm gonna do more detailed videos on CVs soon in the coming weeks. So look out for those. But obviously, there's the general things of how you place the order of your CV. Do you put your skills at the top, etc., etc.? Because there are jobs where employers are going to look at your CV quickly, so you need to stand out. So we're going to talk about that more in later videos. But today is all about the length of the CV, and it doesn't have to be the 2 pages that you would hear people recommend or employment advisors recommend. Yeah. Of course, if it fits on 1 page, you get all your information across on 1 page. That's fine. Yes, 2 pages. You should try not to go over 2 pages. Yeah. So if you're applying for, with all due respect, a low-paying job, yeah, where there's not much skill level required and not much qualifications required, and so for that one job there might be something like 350 applicants, you want to keep your CV short, because the employer, when they do the initial sifting, yeah, you might have all the experience and some good qualifications, and because your CV ain't structured right and you've made it long and the meaty good information is later on in the CV, yeah, you could get sifted out and your CV not be acknowledged and you not get to the next stage of sifting or the interview stage or whatever, however they're doing it, because of the way your CV is structured. So you want to keep your CV as short as possible if you're going for a job that doesn't require too much skill or a lower paying job. Now, if you're applying for a job, say, in a law firm, or you're applying to be a CEO of a small company or medium-sized company, and it's a role where there's not going to be 350 people applying for. There's not going to be 150 people applying for. There's not going to be not even 75 people applying for. Then the employer is going to be getting a smaller amount of CVs. The job is a more critical job. Yeah, it's not a retail store that's doing bulk recruitment for lots of sales assistants. So, we're just gonna quickly sift through the CVs. Oh yeah, take that one. No. So they might be given a target from the HR department. Out of these 350 CVs, take say 40 people to interview. So you might be the best out of the whole 350 people, but because of the nature of the sifting, the speed of the sifting, you want to make sure that your CV stands out. And so then you focus on keeping the length as short as possible, keep it snappy, and try and get most of your highlights in the first part of your CV, whether it be your achievements or your awards or your qualifications or your experience, depending on the role and depending on what you can bring to the role. But yeah, if you're going, say, like in my previous example, for a CEO of a company and your CV's 3 pages, you're not going to listen to that advice about keep your CV 2 pages. Any more than 2 pages, the employer's not even going to look at your CV. So I've used CEO as maybe an extreme example, but when you're going for higher paid specialist jobs, yeah, yes, you want your CV to the point. You're not going to want to write a whole book. But if your achievements, job history, and your qualifications means that to get a decent amount of your story in, your CV is 3 pages, that's fine. That is fine, yeah? But obviously, if you're applying for a job, you should know the kind of level of job you're applying for, and you could kind of gauge the amount of people that's going to be applying for that kind of job. So how long should your CV be? What is the answer? There's no one size fits all. Yeah. So when you hear people or employment advisors say it should be 2 pages, generally it should. Yeah, use that as a guide. It can be 1, it can be 3. Yeah. With the right job, it can even be 4. Just know, obviously, that if you're going for like a job that requires a low or no level of skill, or it's a very low paying job, or both, yeah, you probably want to keep your CV short and snappy, yeah. But obviously the main aim is, if they sift my CV quickly, are they going to see everything? Like, is it going to stand out to them? Is my achievements going to be in their face? Do you understand what I mean? So we're going to talk about that in another video. I'm gonna make another video on that, so look out for that. How to structure your CV. I'm gonna talk about that in more detail. But in the meantime, continue to grow. Comment below any more videos you want to see. I'll add them to the list. If I think it's juicy enough, I will pop that to the top of my list of videos. So there are more videos coming out. So in the meantime, continue to grow. Thumbs up if you like the content in this video. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and also don't forget, if you hit the notification bell, YouTube will let you know when I post another video. In the meantime, continue to grow.